Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop.
Ba-dum-dum-dum. Was that it?
Yep, that's the opening. We're live.
That was the opening.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That was the opening. That was the opening, before we went live. I thought it'd be fun.
Was it just mine, or did yours glitch as well?
What do you mean?
Mine had a slight glitch. Not bad, but just a slight glitch.
I don't know.
There's Cobbers Chat, all right. But anyway, I was pleased to find out, as you know, because you checked the same thing, that my package arrived in San Francisco, and that's only because I posted it last Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's in San Francisco. As long as it doesn't get engulfed in flames, hopefully that'll get to you in the next few days. That would be good.
Yeah, it would be about let's see, it's Saturday here, Sunday. Because I got the message every time it's scanned, like when the package I sent you, when it's scanned again, it'll send a text message to me. When your package gets scanned, it sends me a message. So I got the message and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh no, not California, because it's under fire. So
yeah, because that's a lot. That's been in the news a big part of our news as well. That is showing parts of, especially San Francisco, which is like the picture you sent me, where the skyline is just red.
Yeah, so and actually I'm going to share that photo. It's really funny because where my buddy lived, which is in Santa Clarita, that is his old driveway. And I was like, oh, crap. So the guy that still lives there decided to send him that photo. And I was like, oh, wow. And it's a legit photo from the driveway. And here it is. That's the driveway. And that's what it looks like.
Oh, by the way, what's the name of your stream? Because, if anybody pops in and says anything, I can't see anything. So what's the name of the stream?
Well, that's because you'd have to look at the private chat, but we don't even have anybody watching.
That's all right.
It's on my channel, so.
Nah, that's all right. I can hear you, and it's working, so I'm happy with that. But no, it's like that package, I need it to get through quite quickly because I don't want it to melt.
Mm-hmm.
But as I told you, everything is, all the chocolates, they're in their original packaging. So if they're going to melt, they're going to melt in their own packaging. And the Redskins are in the Coon cheese container, but they're also in a Ziploc bag. So even if they can do a full meltdown, you're just going to have a whole lot of melted candy inside a package. But hopefully they don't do the same thing they did last time. Well, for both you and Odin, I had no idea. As far as I'm concerned, they're hard candy, so I did not expect them to melt.
Yeah.
And for them to melt as easily as they did, wow, what the fuck? That'd be like you ordering, the candies that you ordered from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be like them showing up in a molten pot. You would not expect that candy to melt.
No. Hell, I don't even know. My stream's not even coming up on my own end. Let's see. My stupid studios. Here we go. Well, then again, I am using one that's from freaking like months ago, so that's probably why. Yeah, it shows what we're live, so that's good. Get shareable link.
No, I can see the live is up there.
Well, yeah, we can see that on the D Live, but I didn't even get notifications on there. I sent it in the private chat. That is supposedly the link on the YouTube, which I guess I'll go to as well, just to make sure that. Yep, there we are.
Yeah, it's okay. No one wants to see me because I break ducks.
Well, because you're Robo Man, half the time. Half the time you're Robo Man. You go robotic.
the fact is, I was taking good care of the egg, but I just, as I said, it just slipped out of my hand. It rolled across the desk, and it was still fine, but it rolled and dropped onto the floor, and then it cracked. And I was impressed because like I was like, can I tape it up? And I was like, no, it's fucked. But the yolk in it was so big, I knew it was growing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know how you get a yolk and it's in an egg and you can see where the yolk is. This yolk was massive, as in it was whatever I was doing was working, and I fucked it up.
Well, I mean, you know, it does happen. I mean, luckily enough, we didn't run into this situation that I'm about to share, because that would have been even worse. But at the end of the day, you tried. They didn't
No, I guess
do anything with the egg.
Yeah, the egg was left. It was abandoned. So that's a bad situation to be.
Yeah, you could have ended up with that kind of a situation, which you didn't. Yeah. So
But
fair enough.
I did my best as like and I've never incubated an egg before. So I did all the searches online and what temperature it needed to be at, and I set it up, and I was checking the egg for temperature all the time. It was fine. It was fine. It was fine. And then it slipped out of my hand and it rolled. I tried to catch it, but I couldn't catch it. It just rolled across the desk and just went smash on the floor. I was like, oh, fuck, I broke my duck.
Well, they left the duck to begin with, so that's part of it. Let's see. So yeah, as since we're coming off Odin stream, I got a call prior to that, and a friend of mine was like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm sitting here at home, and the reasoning was that we had a shooting at the local mall. And
yes, I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah. So the whole point was, which it didn't hit your news, it wasn't hitting our news, but I figured we'll watch this together. Although
we start with breaking news from University Park Mall in Mishawaka. One person is dead after a shooting inside the mall, and the search for the suspect is still ongoing. We have team coverage for you tonight on this very jarring story. Monica Murphy has reaction from those inside.
It's just a black screen, man.
Of the shooting. I know, man.
We start with Joshua Short, who tells us what we know so far. Josh?
Hey, Maria.
What they know so far. They don't know shit. Which I don't even think the sound went through, because I might have forgot to click the...
No, the sound was going through. I could hear the sound, but there's no image. I don't know.
What do you expect from the internet?
I don't know if there was supposed to be an image. Maybe it was on radio. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a news story. It was like from watching the news, so there was supposed to be, but all I had was a black screen too, and I was like, well, but what do you expect from Facebook? Let's see. Maybe they'll play it.
Let me know when it's coming.
Okay, here we go. I have to do it this way because, why not?
Because of reasons, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the way they've got it going on.
I think the person that has the name because reasons is just like a perfect name, yeah.
Right, exactly. But this is what we were supposedly watching other than them babbling. So this is the mall that you have been with me that we drove by when we were going to Target. Way back when. So here's the mall.
I remember that, yeah. I have to say you've got very pretty malls. Ours look more commercial. I can hear the crickets chirping.
Well, this guy's talking in a mask.
Good afternoon, folks. Many of us here at WNDU are here at a reported shooting at the University Park Mall that happened just less than an hour ago. Right now, crews from multiple law enforcement departments around St. Joseph County have arrived here on scene. Right now, it is not considered an active shooter situation. However, police are asking people to please stay away from the mall at this time. The Mishawaka police say they're still searching for at least one suspect, and we have been told that County Metro Homicide is likely to arrive here on scene as well. Monica Murphy had the opportunity to talk to some people who saw what happened. And Monica, can you fill us in on the insights that you got from these people?
Well, if you guys just look behind me here, I just want to point out that you guys can see right here. That
What the
emotions
fuck kind of mask is
are
she
pretty
wearing?
high right now. And I talked with a lot of people who said that they are, quote, surprised and numb that this happened. But again, you guys are looking at some pretty raw emotion right now here at University Park Mall. I did talk with an employee who works at Francesca's, and she said that her team ducked and got to the ground right away and hid themselves in a bathroom. They also took customers with them, including a little baby. And so I just want to point that out. That just goes to show you how intense this was. Several witnesses said that they heard about 3 or 4 gunshot wounds and before they ducked. That's pretty much all that we have right now. Again, people are surprised.
They
They're
heard
raw
3 or
emotions
4
are still
gun
very high.
wounds.
Jack.
And Joshua Short is also here with us. He was the first person in our newsroom who heard about this. And Josh, what can you tell us about what you know?
Well, a few things. You guys have kind of put all the nuts and bolts and described everything that's happening. It is a fluid situation for sure. So what we can tell you is kind of just piggyback off of both Jack and Monica. Multiple law enforcement.
Yes, I'll give you that one. They heard
They heard 3 or 4 gunshot wounds.
How does the gunshot wound sound? Now, granted, I've not watched this. I already know what happened. You don't. And that's why I was like, well, we'll watch this together just to see what happened. But I heard it too, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, the gunshot wound sounds something like this.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The impact of the bullet.
And mind you, this was shot live, so it's kind of like when they misspelled, the person was table instead of stable, and all the funny stuff that we keep finding. But this here, especially where they're like, yeah, they heard the gunshot wounds. Oh,
They had those gunshot wounds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So see, it's not just you in Australia that has funky news stories with typos and things not pronounced right or spoken wrong. See, it happens here too.
You got state police here, you got city police from South Bend, you've got Mishawaka police as well. You also, from what I'm being told, SWAT team from Mishawaka, St. Joseph County is also here. I've not seen the presence just yet, but they could be inside of the mall. At this point, early on, when this happened just over an hour ago, it was initially called in as an active shooter. However, that has since changed. It is not an active shooter situation. We don't know what that entails. We don't know what that means. We don't know if the shooter has been captured. We don't know anything in that regard.
We don't know shit.
I can tell you, and Monica just pointed him out, Mike McGann, the coroner, just arrived on scene. So he is now on scene on your left, Don, if you can see him pulling up there. That is Coroner Mike McGann. You just spoke with him moments ago, didn't you, Monica?
We don't know anything, but we're going to report anyway.
He's not going to share many details at this point, but I do want to also point out that several witnesses say that they saw this incident happen near Victoria's Secret. Again, that hasn't been confirmed by authorities, but that is a...
Hold on. By Victoria's Secret. Okay.
Is that police car? Is that a Challenger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a cool car.
their witness, Josh.
We do want to be respectful. There is, you can hear the emotions here. We do not know, obviously, the reason behind that. But obviously, if you have common sense at home and watching this, you can only imagine why they are crying. So we're not showing the family or anything like that at this moment. But at this time, the tensions are high. So is the emotions right now. You all got here about 15 minutes ago as well. What did you all see when you all first got here? Because I think that's the thing. There are so many people. Just 3 miles east of us, there's a big game going on, right?
Notre Dame.
There are a lot of people here at the...
Yeah, so they're at the Notre Dame game was going on when this happened. Where they're looking at, when you walk in and go to the right, that's where the pet store is. You would have to go keep walking past the pet store and then turn right in the main part of the mall and down, I don't know how far, is where the Victoria's Secret was. But this is an hour after it happened, so obviously they didn't have as much news.
So it actually happened in the Victoria's Secret store.
They said outside of. But
Outside of
outside of, I do believe is what they were just saying, because we're watching. Like I said, I know the end of the story. I don't know, what we're watching right now. I'm watching with you for the first time, so that's where that is fun, But I wanted to explain to you, kind of like when you and me when I took you into Target, we were kind of walking and whatnot. If you walk in those doors, there's 2 sets of doors, and when to the right is where the pet store is, and then you take about 3 steps forward and you turn right, and you're in the main part of the mall, and then you'd go probably another 40, 50 steps, and I think Victoria's Secret's right around that area. Not that it matters, but
The mall. You mentioned you heard from folks. I had a few friends who were here. Some people were saying it was right by the pet store where this took place. What did you see, Jack, when you first got here? What did you say?
Well, I actually got here pretty soon after we learned about it, because I wasn't very far away, and I came exactly to the location that you're seeing right now, and a lot of people were walking to their cars, leaving the mall. Folks who were told that they have to leave, and as police are keeping people out away from the mall and asking folks to stay away. I also spoke with a gentleman whose wife works at the mall, and right now she is actually being kept in a safe location within her store. So not everyone has evacuated the building, but police are asking folks to make sure you're staying away from the UP Mall at this time as they investigate this shooting. And as we speak right now, St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit just arrived here on scene. So we told you just a little bit ago that Coroner McGann had arrived on scene, and followed by St. Joseph County Metro Homicide Unit. But Monica, tell us what it looked like from the other side of the building.
Well, again, I just want to point out that several witnesses were near the entrance of Barnes & Noble, and many of them actually had to sit down. Many of them actually had to sit down and just take a minute, because it's obviously traumatizing. Many said, well, we can't go anywhere anymore because this kind of stuff happens all the time. Nowhere is safe. And so they make...
Okay, first off, bullshit. This does not normally happen in my area. I don't live in fucking Illinois. We haven't had a mall shooting in probably over 30 years. But just a quick...
Well, I just have to actually ask, who was actually shot? The gunman?
No.
No, he shot someone else.
Mm-hmm. Which, like I said, I didn't want to spoil anything, but yeah. So,
just
but
one person or several people or what?
I know that there's one dead.
Okay.
That's it. I don't know if he shot multiple. That's why I was kind of watching this, like, well, let's see what they got to say. But it's just funny because they're like, oh, this happens all the time. The fuck it does. I mean, yeah, you go to the ghettos and there's shootings. That's a given. But at the mall, no, not at all. Not normally. The mall if you're going through the food court, they have a sticker that says no guns allowed. This is why I always carry my gun in the fucking mall, because if I was there and I see a guy shooting another guy, that is, if they give the description, is what I'm waiting on of the guy. Cause you kind of know if you read, with Odin, but for like Jason that's watching and whoever else is watching, cause hey, Jay Clark, how you doing? They don't really know either because you have a heads up, but that's why my friend called me. So that's why I'll go ahead and hit play, and we'll see if they keep continuing to babble, but hopefully they'll get to what the guy looked like or talk to somebody that will let it out the bag. And if they don't, then I'll tell you at the end of this.
A really good point. So for those who are just tuning in, I just want to point out that I did speak with several witnesses who said they heard about 3 or 4 gunshot wounds. That is their witness. Many had to duck on the ground and take shelter. In their...
I'm sorry, gunshot wounds. You heard gunshot wounds. You would have heard gunshot fires. So yeah, that is silly. But she's looking at it. She's saying with a straight face.
Well, this is the second time I've said it.
I know. That's got to be on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Somebody in the prompt department needs to be fired, because I've never heard a gunshot wound. I've heard gunshots, not a gunshot wound.
Inside their stores. In fact, we talked with an employee who works at Francesca's, and they actually took customers with them, including teenage girls, just to keep them safe. So again, this just shows you what they saw. Again, we have Metro Homicide on scene right now. The coroner, the St. Joseph County coroner, is also here. And again, emotions are very raw. This is obviously still very fresh. It just happened an hour ago.
Monica, I've yet to publish my story, but earlier today, and it's in progress. Couldn't publish it because we came out here to do team coverage of what was reported as the shooting out here. But I joined dozens of community members on South Bend's west side for a march to end gun violence.
Yeah.
And after the violence we've seen in the last couple weeks, that's something that meant so much to those people marching. And it's sad to see that just across the way from that neighborhood, these kind of acts continue the same day folks are speaking out about them.
And mind you, this is during the Notre Dame game, but South Bend and Mishawaka, this is way away from the ghetto of Mishawaka and the ghetto of South Bend, rather. And the area he's talking about is the full ghetto in South Bend. So, you know, it is just not where you really want to be. And, of course, that's where the airport is. So you have to drive through the ghetto to get to the airport.
Yeah, you know, it just, you know, Jack was born and raised in South Bend. This violence doesn't seem to stop at all. And, yeah, I think that's a really interesting point that you just made about, you know, there's activists speaking out saying that, you know, that this has to stop. So.
And we're refraining from showing the family out of respect for their privacy, or I'm actually not sure of the relation, but the folks who are obviously grieving something to what would be the right of our frame here. You know, that kind of emotion and pain is what folks are trying to get rid of in this community.
Yeah.
Those emotions of grief and loss, specifically from gun violence, as we have another shooting investigation underway in a very public space, the University Park Mall.
Yeah, I think we're also pretty speechless even at this point, because it just seems to, again, happen so much. So again, folks, for those who are just tuning in, we're at the University Park Mall right here, where there was a reported shooting about an hour or so ago. We have Metro Homicide on scene in the St. Joseph County coroner right now. They are asking people not to come on the property. Again, emotions are still very, very raw. Definitely not something that we were expecting for today. And Josh, what else do you have to share?
Yeah, it's going to be shocking when you hear those gunshot wounds.
Right as this happened. And the reason I think there are a lot of people in the area because of this game, obviously with the physical distancing and what have you, things have changed. So not everybody can be at the stadium. So a lot of folks, they're coming to the mall, they're running errands, they're doing things on this abnormal game day Saturday. And you've got dozens of people here, people that you talk to.
That truck, how does that get over speed bumps?
People that I
Look at it.
that have texted me. That's how I first started to hear about this. And then things were rather confirmed rather quickly from dispatch and police as well. You're seeing Indiana State Police. You're also seeing South Bend Police. The county Metro Homicide is also here, which is indicative of there being a serious injury, if not a death. We have yet to confirm either one just yet at this hour, but they're right behind me there. And as Jack and Monica mentioned, this kind of developed pretty quickly here. This started off as what we were told was an active shooter situation. That has since changed. It is no longer active shooter, but we do not know what that means right now. That does not mean necessarily that the shooter has been caught. We just don't know. So we're waiting to confirm those details. We actually see a lot of police cars speeding away, going to a different location. We don't know what that means. So we're still working to verify those details. But this all happened within the last hour. Hundreds of you actually shared our Facebook post on WNDU. A lot of you all were on Twitter as well. So a lot of people were aware of the actions because, as we just mentioned, this is just miles away, about 3-4 miles.
You don't know shit, and you're just filling in.
Yeah.
Of the stadium where there is a.
Okay, so where he's showing Notre Dame is my mouse on? Can you see my finger pointer? Or no?
Where?
If as you're staring at the screen, I don't know, are you on YouTube? Okay, no, you can't see my finger pointer. So where he's at right now.
Okay, I'm on Streamlabs now.
It's okay, you can't see it.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, where those trees are, you'd have to go past those trees and quite a ways to get to the stadium. So it's close, but it ain't that close. We're talking, I don't know, probably 10 miles easy.
But the game going on, the first home game of the season. So that's why a lot of the ears are to the ground right now for obvious reasons. And I think that's what's important too, is that you're starting to see a lot of the response here. Usually a lot of these very units are at the University of Notre Dame for this game. And so to see how quickly they got here and things.
So now you know the best time to do a shooting
like that is something that we're just working our heads around. But again, A lot of details still need to be ironed out. How many shooters were there? Was there one? Was there two? Were there multiple? The victim or victims involved in this, we've only confirmed, or at least at this time, we've confirmed that Metro is on the scene, which can only tell you there is a victim, a gunshot victim of some sort. Someone was shot. We just do not know that person's condition at this hour. So a lot to unpack, a lot to unfold, but I know Monica and Jack, you guys are here to help us as well. We're going to continue to follow this story, and as soon as we get more developments, we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, and again, I just want to point out, folks, violence obviously impacts people in so many ways, and today we're seeing this at University Park Mall, the pain, the raw emotion. Again, customers and employees who saw this say that they were surprised that this happened. They can't believe that this would happen. And so, yeah, that's what we have for you. Again, a lot of people ducked
they're not
when
showing any
they
pain.
heard the gunshots, and so
Yeah, well, that was a bit ago, so I didn't see anything new on it. So, all right, so here's what's going on. This is what I can tell you. Cool. So my friend called me. He says, "Where you at?" I'm at home. And he's like, by the mall? And I'm like, no. And being the smartass that he is, the reason he called was the shooter was wearing a clown mask with an American flag that was ripped around the mouth. Okay. And he shot one person and killed them. That I know. That much I do know. All right. I haven't seen anything new since then. I am kind of worried about these, 4 gunshot wounds that they heard. And I'm calling bullshit right out on all the rest of the bullshit that they're trying to say, because that area. So basically, you don't live in South Bend. You don't want to live in South Bend, for one. 2, Mishawaka is a better area that generally, especially the area there, and you've seen that area before. You've been with me when I've drove, and it's been a while, but we were by that mall when I was taking you to Target. And I kind of showed it to you real quick at the stoplight. Because if from where they're at, if I'd go left and down a bit is where the Best Buy was, and I'd keep going, and then we'd end up at Target, which you did go to. So that would have been to the right of us when I stopped at the stoplight. That's that area right there. The last time there was a shooting, I was a kid. And what had happened was Dave the Frog was there with a buddy of theirs, and a kid pulled a gun out and shot Dave the Frog's buddy, shot him in the arm.
Oh,
This
wow.
is when I was a kid. So we're talking back, good Lord, in the 80s. And there hadn't really been any massive violence or anything at the mall. Then the area that they're talking about was just in South Bend. That's where there's always kinds of issues, but normally not many. Like all these gun things that they're talking about doesn't happen in the nicer areas as usual. It's always the shitty ghetto areas. And that's what the West Side has turned into and has been throughout my entire life. The west end of town was where you didn't want to be. You had your decent areas with the old folks. But again, that was 20 years ago. It's just gone to shit since then.
Yeah, well, I'm still impressed with the gunshot wounds being heard.
Mm-hmm.
Twice they heard them.
Well, they said 3 or 4. Yeah. So here's the thing, though.
No, but yeah, what I'm saying is they actually said it twice.
Mm-hmm. 3 or 4 gunshot wounds. They heard 3 or 4 gunshot wounds. That's, and that was definitely off the teleprompter. She was reading. But at the end of the day, yeah, one person lost their life. I don't know what it was about. I hadn't seen anything new on it. And yeah, this is during the Notre Dame game, which is crazy. But then again, with everything going on, you got people that think it's the end of the world. You're going to have more and more of this kind of crazy shit happening. Now, I don't normally go to the mall. There's a nostalgia store at the mall that I like to go to. It's where I was going to go get the Flash Gordon poster to have signed till they canceled the Comic-Con that I was going to go to. But I barely go to that mall. There's nothing. They don't even have an Apple store. The Apple store closed down. So, brick and mortar stores are closing left and right. We all know this is nothing new, but sadly enough, I have to wait and see what else happens. But I mean, No, I don't have the shit going on that we've got in other places like Portland or any of that, stuff that goes on the south side of Chicago on a daily basis by any means. And of course, I'm a city away from Mishawaka, so I'm quite a while ways away from there. But yeah, the only reason my buddy called was because the guy was in a clown mask, and so he instantly thought of me because of the Joker mask behind me, and I was like, okay, that's fucking funny, you smart ass.
He straight away thought of you because the fact is you had the Joker, and the guy was dressed as a clown with American flag across his face.
Mhm.
So I understand that, because I mean, the gun laws in Australia,
Mhm.
and we've actually had this happened months ago, but I think I was actually talking to you at the time. It was actually in the back street here, where a guy used a shotgun, and that caused a big police search. And I think that's actually online with you talking at the same time and telling you that the police chopper is overhead, blah blah blah. But I had no idea that it was actually a gunning. It was actually a shotgun. The likelihood of someone in Australia having a shotgun is pretty slim.
Mhm.
So yeah, obviously illegal. But I'm pretty sure I was actually on the line with you and telling you I can hear the chopper overhead, and I don't know why, but they're sweeping back and forth, because the police chopper you can hear from a long way away, because our police chopper has the way it's set up. You can actually it's a very distinctive sound.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the time, but it's like, yeah, shootings, yeah, we don't really get a lot of them, but when they do happen, our police force comes down very, very hard, and we have sirens going off everywhere.
Apparently, he was a 22-year-old man that was killed in the shooting at University Park Mall. That was from 4 hours ago, is the newest thing. And they're babbling about Facebook. Well, when we went to look this up, you couldn't find it anywhere on the news. My buddy that called the owners, and he found it was from a British outlet, is where he heard about the shooting. And I'm like,
wow.
man. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the media blackout is just ridiculous. The stuff that's happened, like, they didn't say anything when the riots were happening about what got destroyed in Indianapolis. You didn't hear anything, and there was a lot of stuff that happened.
It's the same thing with like what happens in with here. Our media, we get a whole lot of shit from America, and I see stuff and I relay it to you, and you've never fucking heard of it. You know what I mean? It's
like, I get better news from you than what I hear here locally. And to answer voice, the reason the cops are after Mr. Peabody is because he broke the duck egg.
Yeah, I broke the. I did break a duck egg. Yeah,
he murdered the duck, so on accident, allegedly. But yeah,
it was. I didn't mean to. I was taking care of the duck egg, and it rolled across the table and fell on the floor. And it's like, the fact is, the mother duck left the egg beside the swimming pool. Just left it there. So I thought, no, and I carried it in my pocket for half the day, thinking, what the fuck am I going to do with this fucking egg? And so I actually set up a lamp, and I was actually incubating the egg, and I was testing the duck temperature, and it slipped out of my hand. It rolled across it, and I feel really terrible. I broke the duck. It's like, and I don't think she's going to give me another one. She's not happy with me at all.
Well, she abandoned him in the first place. So.
She abandoned the egg. And as I said to you, if she had to put the egg in a certain place, I would have left it. I would have said, no, she's making a nest, blah, blah, blah. I would have left it. But no, she just dropped it beside the pool.
Mm.
And as I said to you, I thought it was a ping pong ball. It wasn't until she flew off that I went out there thinking, where did this ping pong ball come from? And I looked out there and it was a fucking duck egg. And it was still warm. So the first thing I did was stuck it in my pocket. And then what I did was it was in my pocket. And I thought, I'm not giving it enough heat. So I tucked my pocket into my pants so I could keep it warm. And I kept it warm. And then I set up a globe and everything to heat it up. And it was growing. And then I killed it. I
That's
broke
right.
it.
We cannot tell the Jawa that you broke the egg. That is correct, boys. Because he'll be mad that he didn't get any of that cream filling that's inside of it, like, from Mandalorian. Jason's getting something to eat, and then he'll be back. All right, buddy. Yeah, we'll be on for a bit.
No, there's no coppers after me. I'm just responding to what's in the chat.
That's why we said earlier it was about the egg, and then but yeah, it's literally we can't tell the Jawa, he'll be jealous because he didn't get any of that creamy goodness from the egg like in the Mandalorian. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's the news blackouts for real. The bullshit they're saying, why you got to be on Facebook to get news? You should be able to type it in, your search bar and get your local stories. And granted, the video we played was an hour after it happened, which was 5 hours ago or so. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they'll be more told what happened eventually. They've got nothing right now. But yeah, one shooter apparently with killed the one person and wounded apparently somebody else. I don't know, because they heard 3 or 4 gunshot wounds.
And to be fair, I didn't break the egg. Gravity did. I tried to catch it, but I was too slow because it rolled across the desk and then fell onto the floor, and that's when it broke. So I didn't break it. Gravity did.
Gravity did. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those. It's not something normal. Like I said, I'm not that close, but not that far. I'm about 20 minutes away from the mall. We've not had a shooting like this since the 80s. The way they make it sound is that it's a reoccurring thing, and that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. It doesn't happen on a daily basis because, like I said, you go in the food court doors and there's a picture of a gun with a circle and a line through it. Well, fuck you. These are the reasons that I take my gun to places that you say don't carry, because I'd much rather be armed and not need my gun than need my gun and not have it. But that's just me. I'm not the one that's running around shooting fucking people either.
I'll tell you something funny. I mean, you know this story. No one else does. About that charger that I bought, and how it's late, hasn't showed up. And so I sent a message through eBay saying, "Where's my charger? I want the product. Where is it?" eBay actually removed that from my purchase list. They've removed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually onto it. I don't know what's going on with that fucking charger. For those people that don't know, it's a battery charger, but what it does actually charges, it charges lithium ion batteries, it charges nickel metal hydride batteries, it charges nickel cadmium batteries, and it will charge a car battery, and it will also charge any of these things off another car battery. It's a really multi-purpose battery charger, and I purchased it about a month ago, and it's only supposed to come from the eastern states in Australia to here. That should take roughly 2 weeks most. It's been a month and it still hasn't showed up. And so I sent in a message saying, "Where's my charger?" But eBay itself actually removed that from my purchase list. And now they're all over it. So I don't know if this guy was scamming or what he's doing, but there's something different about this purchase. And and I don't know if this charge is going to show up, but at least eBay's onto it. So if it doesn't show up, they're going to refund me, and I can just buy another charger. But it's a weird way they're going about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is odd. I mean, I quit using eBay years ago. I got tired of the BS with you buy something, they've got it listed as something. I'd get it. It wasn't that. I'd have issues. A lot of mine was for the master replica lightsabers where they were telling me, oh, it's basically mint in box, it's been open, blah, blah, blah. Then you get it and shit didn't end up being right. And I was like, wait a minute. For the amount, because I paid, it was about $500. And it was Jez's favorite Mace Windu lightsaber and Darth Maul. And I got Darth Maul's, and the centerpiece was broke. Like you couldn't put the two sabers together.
Yeah.
Because there was a chunk missing out of the parts that screwed together. And you couldn't find.
But didn't you repurchase that and so that you got the part that connected it?
You couldn't repurchase it because they don't make the master replicas anymore. You could buy a Hasbro version one, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't authentic. It wasn't the same. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to spend $50 on this when it's not even to though. It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could screw in where the gem was at the end to make them individual sabers, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. And then the Mace Windu lightsaber, it wasn't purple. It was more of a pinkish color. And I'm like, you've obviously replaced the blade in this because this isn't the original blade. And I just told the guy, I'm like, look, I'm not happy. I want, at least half my money back. And he's like, oh, just send them back to me and I'll just resell them. I'm like, so you're going to sell an item that's broken and you're going to turn around and lie about it. Okay, sure. So I sent them back to him. And after China bought eBay and PayPal, I was really done with that way back then. But it was just time after time I'd buy stuff. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then they bitched at me for having so many claims. And I'm like, well, if the items were what they were supposed to be, like all the stuff that was, we wouldn't have this issue. But the people that are selling the items are lying and not being honest. And I've got a problem with that because this isn't what I wanted. If you tell me it's brand new or it's like new and it works, I don't expect to get a lightsaber with broken parts in it. I'm like, no. I say no.
Well, I actually I got another message from, I bought the 9 hard drives, and only six of them don't work. 3 of them do. And as I said to you, I was happy as long as I had one that worked. It was still worth my worth the money. He said, because I actually said to, I actually did send a, you leave feedback.
Yeah.
Well, I left feedback saying, well, 6 of these drives are useless, and I've tried everything I can with those drives to get them to initiate. They won't initiate. And so they're completely useless. But the ones I've got still outweigh the money I spent on them, so it's still worth it for me. But I just wanted him to know that, of the 9 drives, 6 were completely useless. Anyway, he sent me a message back saying, "How did you go with those other drives?" Well, I already sent you a message saying they're fucked. It's like that, and you can't use them. You can't initiate them. But even with the message that I told you that he sent me, he actually admitted that they need to be reinitiated, but you can't reinitiate them.
Because he wiped everything off of them.
He wiped everything off them, and do they show up on the computer? Yes, they show up on the computer, but you can't use any operating system with them. I don't know what he did to them, but he really didn't do it properly. And he should have checked to make sure that they'd actually operate with an operating system. Because, I mean, let's face it, a hard drive is completely useless if you can't have an operating system on it.
You got a paperweight right there, my friend.
Yeah. No, I got 6 of them, but I mean, like, as I said, the ones that are working, that justifies the cost. But the fact is, the package that he sold was not, what he said they were. He said it was 9 tested hard drives. It wasn't 9 tested hard drives. He tested them, but only 3 of them worked. So.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I was talking about, though. I just got so sick and tired of dealing with that. And then I got banned from PayPal because they kept having to give me my money back, and they weren't very happy about it. Because I wasn't going to put up with it. If I buy something, it's missing items, it's got broken items, or you get something that was completely not what you ordered, and then they act surprised, like, oh, well, and I was that guy that was always like, no, you're paying for the return label. I already paid for shipping once.
That's why that's why I was so impressed with Walmart, because they actually gave me a refund, and all I said is make sure that the package gets through, which was your Vegemite.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't ask them for a refund. I asked them just make sure the package gets through. But they refunded me the money, plus they sent you the package.
Mm-hmm.
that was impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I did get the package. It's like, oh, okay, cool, thank you.
Free Vegemite.
Mm-hmm. Well, it took them forever with that, and I mean, nothing beats what we're dealing with though with the Postal Service now. I mean, like I said, I sent your birthday package out at the beginning of the month, along with Brent and Jezza, and it just it took forever because I'm like, man, with everything going on with COVID and all this shit, I want to get this out because I already know that flights are down, coming in and out. So let me send it out. Post office is working. You and I made jokes about it, but I'm like, all right. Yeah. And a month later, it just disappeared. It went from here to Indy, and it left Indy and never was scanned again. It just disappeared. So I opened a case, and I had a couple days left on that case. And then on my birthday, it decided to say that, oh, it's in Chicago. And I'm like,
shut up again, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so it took it a month to get 2.5 hours north of me. Okay. And then when it hit Hong Kong, I'm like, well, it's getting closer. And then for you, the package you sent, it's like, oh, it's in San Francisco. I'm like, oh,
it's going pretty quickly, that one, yeah. Hi, Howard, how are you going? My package is actually going through rip-roaringly fast. And as long as it doesn't stay in San Francisco, it should be fine. But now it's a race to see which package arrives first. The one that Adam sent a month ago, or the one that I sent last week.
Well, it's like I said, though, it was really weird because from Elkhart, where I'm at, it made no sense where these packages went.
No, get it right. Elkhart. That's where you are.
Yeah, Elkhart. Yes, Elkhart. But yeah, I mean, it made no sense. First off, to go to Indy is 3.5 hours south. Chicago is 2.5 hours north of me. So that part makes no sense. But the fact that the British packages went to Fort Wayne, which is an hour and a half to the east of me, to then go to Indy, to then go to Chicago, because it's not like this is the first time I've mailed you shit. Step one, Indianapolis does not have the ability to check the packages. It doesn't make any sense for it to go to Indy. In order for it to go through customs, there's no customs in Indy. It has to go to Chicago. So you would think, being as north as I am, you would send it just to Chicago. No, they send the shit south to send it north. Okay, so that's, a good 6-hour waste of time, but whatever. Yeah, and UPS wonders why they don't have money, because that's just gas they're wasting. But okay, fine, whatever. But then to follow these packages and watch them go, one package go from Chicago to New York and New York to the UK and take forever to get delivered. The other package to disappear like yours and then all of a sudden show up in Japan and then make it to the United Kingdom and make it to Jez's doorstep before Brent's, who I had tracking on the whole time. And Brent's was funny because they wanted paid. They're like, oh, we're going to hold this package till he pays for it. And I'm like, this is such bullshit. I already paid for the package to get there. Just do your job and give them the fucking package. But no, we can't have that. For your package to just disappear and then reappear. And that was the one I was pissed about because that's the one that had the $200 insurance on it. And of course, they're gonna, make that one reappear because they don't want to pay me the $200. So I'm like, all right, and I still would have been like, fuck you, I want $260 because I want the money for shipping it because you assholes lost it. But I am very happy that at least it's in Hong Kong.
Still on the way, yeah.
Yeah, so it's better than it was before. But oh man. And then, yeah, I'd have much rather yours come to Chicago. But every time I've mailed you shit, it's not like I said, this isn't the first time. It's always gone from here to Indy, from Indy to Chicago to you. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, because it used to be that like the normal packaging. If I sent anything to America, it would take roughly 2 weeks. I think in the beginning it took just over a week, but now it takes about 2 weeks. But when I sent the thing to Odin, and they sent it to New York, that took over a month. I don't understand what they're doing with the packaging, but
I don't either. I mean, I get.
I'll take a quiet bet that my package is going to arrive to you faster than yours arrives to me.
Well, yours just might be incinerated. I mean, you just never know at this fucking point. I mean, all that area is under.
Completely melted. Gets anywhere near you.
I mean, Mad Dodge's fucking car melted for fuck's sake. So his Camaro. So a package with candies in it. I don't know. I don't got much faith. But it's at that point where shipping shouldn't be like this, and unfortunately it is, and it really sucks because it was so easy. And even with the COVID stuff, like I said, I was holding on, and I'm like, no, I'm going to send it out now because I really wanted to wait. Obviously, before Christmas, I was going to send this shit out because I'm I'm not going to wait till the Christmas time.
Anybody wondering? The bulk of the stuff in the package that I've sent to Adam is full of chocolate. This is full of chocolate, and it's going through San Francisco. So we're sort of like considering what's the chances of it making it through without melting.
Oh, I almost guarantee it's going to be a little melty, but that's all right. I'll put it in the fridge and then eat it. I've got no issues with that. I mean, I'm a fat kid at heart, so it's definitely going to get ate. But
what I did actually, I got all the basic Australian confectionery that you get, which is stuff that is sold in Australia, so I could send it to Adam, and that's what's in the box. But there is something else in the box, which is a one of a kind, and I want to present it as something from both myself and Adam to Odin.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we talked about this stuff and the fact is, I couldn't give it to Odin without Adam, because if I send it straight to Odin, it's going to end up in fucking New York for a month. So I need Adam to send it to Odin.
Well, the funny thing is, like, it didn't used to be that bad sending stuff, but then we tried sending stuff and we started having issues because we had the riots in Chicago, and so we were joking around about that. Like, yeah, they could smell the candies I was sending Jez.
Smell the candies. They wanted the candies.
So they wanted the candies. Like they hijacked the shit because they knew it was candy and ate it all. And it was a good joke, and he got the American candies and had a blast with that. And as far as I know, he probably's already ate them all. I'll have to ask him when I talk to him the next day or two. But Dollar to Donuts, they're gone. But I mean, it's like that happened, and then your shit went missing, and then now you send a package, and California and Oregon and everywhere's ablaze. It's like, oh my goodness, what's next?
Well, all I can say is I'm quietly impressed that it's already there.
Oh, okay. So arrived USPS San Francisco at 6:48 p.m. So that means it's cleared customs again.
Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. It's like because I wrapped it in brown paper, just brown paper, and so you'll be able to see if customs have gone to town on it.
Oh yeah,
I think they will, because the fact is there is food in there, so they're probably more than likely going to open it.
Oh, it's hard telling with them. Half the time, I don't think they really give a fuck. They're like, "What's in this?" Okay, they read it. All right, looks good. Off it goes.
Oh yeah, that was the other problem because at least the people that I sent it through this time actually filled in the proper paperwork, not like the other clown that said, "Oh, just put down one thing." It's like there's 7 different items in there. You can't just put one down. One down. As soon as it goes through their fucking scanner, they're going to say there's more than one item in here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but as I said, as I told you, I was not going to send it through the same guy. It's like, no, I need someone who fills out the fucking paperwork. But as I told you, I had to keep an eye on her because she was filling out the paperwork wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to send it to Alcard, and she didn't know how to spell confectionery. There was several things that I actually had to correct her on there in order to get it to send. It's like I could have made it easy. I could have said candy, but it's confectionery. It's so.
It had to be complicated, didn't you?
Confectionery is not a difficult word, but I'm sorry to say, but she was Asian. So confectionery was a hard word for her.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can't seem to escape that shit no matter what. But like I said, with the lack of flights, okay, that was one thing. Then the riots in Chicago, so shit was going to New York, and my stuff from New York went pretty quick. Your stuff from New York was there for a minute. And I'm just like, man, it's getting harder and harder to send stuff out. I mean, it's bad enough I spent the $300 and some odd on a passport I can't use because I can't leave my country in the first place.
And
go anywhere.
We've still got a hard border. You wouldn't be able to get into Western Australia.
Yeah, I mean, it's been that way for a while, but I mean, that was the whole thing. It's like, even back when I told you, well, originally I was going to be your birthday present. I was going to surprise you and everything, but because that was the one thing I was looking forward to. And I'm like, shit just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And I just don't see it happening.
But it's like, unfortunately, it's like, yeah, 2020 has been a disaster. But unfortunately, I believe it's going to get even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just going to pile more shit on here. And so I don't think we're going to see any relief anytime soon.
No, I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. I see it getting way worse. I mean, in America, it's bad enough. You've got, it's Antifa setting fires. Oh, it's this. And then it's the stupidity. I mean, California every year catches fire. It's just a fact. This has been going on for decades.
Well, same thing happens in Australia. We get bushfires every year. That's normal. But what happened last year was that the Greenies actually shut down the controlled burns because they said, "Oh, you're releasing too much carbon into the atmosphere." Well, how much fucking carbon do you think they released into the atmosphere when the whole thing went up like a bonfire?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, the reason why we have controlled burns is to control where the fire is and how to subdue the fire. But I can tell you this much. We've had controlled burns all through this year. Remember the bad burns in Australia were beginning of the year?
Mm-hmm.
They've actually done controlled burns all through the year. Not a single complaint.
Well, there you go. San Francisco for you. I see Godzilla.
Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. And I know he's going to smell my candies and eat it, so it's game over.
Yeah, no, he's going to smell those caramel koalas and he's going to say, I want those drop bears. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. No, like I said, it'll be fun to see who gets what package first. I'm going to laugh if we end up getting them at the same time because yours should be there in about 3-4 days, and same with mine on a normal time frame anyway. But
well, no, it's a race to the finish, and I think mine's going to win. Well, depending, because I mean, as I said, it is in Los Angeles. Sorry, it's in
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah. So it might be a problem, but I still think mine's going to get there faster. I mean, I'm sure yours is going to arrive, but I have to. But you actually want me to open mine with my mother here. That might be a problem, because my room's a fucking mess. It's not dirty, but it's very, very untidy.
Well, first off, you got to get the package. That's step one, which, like I said, it left Hong Kong on the 9th. So, I mean, and you guys don't have mail on the weekends anyway. So I'm going to say Wednesday, Thursday-ish, maybe, hopefully, if we're lucky, you'll get yours. And mine should be about the same time frame. Now, on a normal thing, it'd be 3-4 days. So once it actually leaves San Francisco, we'll see. But yeah, California usually it used to be about 3 days. Now it seems to be about a week to a week and a half.
Well,
so we'll see.
I could get lucky. I mean, they might open the package and say, "Holy shit, this thing's full of drop bears. Get it out of here."
You're giving them too much credit. They'd have no. They'd be like, "What the fuck's a koala?" I mean, it's California. They're pretty brainwashed.
Full of caramel koalas. We've got to get rid of this thing. We can't hold on to this. That's why they should release a new movie. The Drop Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like I said, it's still better than the movie The Drop Egg.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I didn't mean to do it. It's gravity's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ! They're showing a land whale on the news at the moment.
Oh, Oprah's on?
No, it's Casey Donovan. She actually won Australian Idol many years ago, and she's a really, really big girl. And apparently, she's doing a weight loss thing, and it's not really doing much for her. She's not losing much weight. She's really big and fat.
Yeah.
And by the way, she's Aboriginal.
Well, you'll definitely have that there.
As that's the only reason why she won. I mean, she had a really good voice on Australian Idol. Her voice was fantastic, and at the time I think she was only 16 when she did Australian Idol. But since then, she just ballooned. And the only reason she's getting any kind of airtime on any kind of news service here is simply because she's Aboriginal. Anybody else?
Oprah.
Anybody else we wouldn't care about. It's like it was another guy. He won. It wasn't Australian Idol. I think it was The Voice, and he was Aboriginal as well. And he won, and then he just disappeared. But with COVID, everybody shows back up. So he's popped up with a new album. It's like, well, big whoops. I don't care. It's like, are you a good singer? Yeah, you're not a bad singer, but it's like, do I care about you? No. Are your songs any good? Not really.
Well, I know the New South Wales package I got, that took about 2 weeks. So, yeah, like I said, yours is definitely doing good because it's already here. We'll see what the trek from California takes. If it survives. Might be a little smoky. A little melted. A little charred.
That coon packaging is going to help it through.
Well, if not, at least they're all in one container, and I'll have a bunch of soupy. In
a plastic container that's enveloped in a Ziploc bag. You're gonna have a melted thing of Redskins.
Mm-hmm. In a coon container, I like it.
In a coon container,
coon cheese container. That's right.
But everything
sound racist, but aren't.
Everything else. So the Freddo frogs. The caramel koalas and the flakes, they're all individually wrapped. Probably I'd be more concerned about the flakes. If they melt, then they're not going to be flakes. They're just going to be molten chocolate, but still, they'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you know what else is in there, and we're keeping the mum's word on that one, because that's a surprise. But that's going to be something for Odin, from me and Adam.
Oh yeah. Yep. I liked his stream today where he's like, I got a box and I'm going to get it out. And I'm like, it's all good, man. We're just talking in the background about the other packages. It was like, it didn't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I was like, legitimately, we weren't talking smack about you. We were just talking to each other about our packages that we sent each other.
Yeah, no, because he's worried about the drop bear. It's like, no. Because what I did was I sent him a message saying, this is Adam's address. I didn't know if I think he already had it, but I sent him your address again, and I said, once again, there's no real rush on it, but it is for a birthday. But I didn't say when the birthday was. I just said, this is the address, blah, blah, blah. And I said to him, by the way, I have a few more surprises for you. So yeah, there is a package that will show up. Was it Sunday? It'll show up. Well, for me, it will be Tuesday. That'll show up for Odin on Tuesday, my time. But there's a second package that will show up on Thursday, my time, for Odin. And then by that time, the third thing that is in actually Adam's package probably might arrive and might be on its way. But but the third package is the one I like the best, because it's just fucking funny.
Mm-hmm. I like this. I was hoping I could make it bigger, but it's not going to let me, of course. San Francisco 2020, Blade Runner 2048. Nice.
See, I have to admit, I don't like the new Blade Runner movie.
I still haven't seen it. I started watching it and I freaking kept falling asleep during it.
No, it's long and it's boring, and I don't like it. But as I said to you, it's like I did like Mulan. I hated Tenet. Tenet was shit.
And the only movie we can talk about that we both saw, of course, which was funny enough that we tried watching it together at the same time, and then that didn't work, and then I ended up seeing the same copy you had. Unhinged, yeah. And even that one, like, there were, like, I loved 90% of the movie up till the end, and then we're sitting there
right at the end, and then they just dropped the fucking ball. It's like, now it's just gone into complete shit. But yeah, most of the movie was quite good. But yeah, when you get to the end of the movie, it's like, yeah, I don't see it playing out that way.
I mean, I was so excited for this movie with Russell Crowe, right? Like, I'd forgotten about it, and you and I were talking about it, and I'm like, what is it? And you're like, Unhinged. And I'm like, why is that ringing a bell? But I cannot remember what the fuck it is about. So I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see. So then I played the damn, trailer, and I'm like, yeah, that's that Russell Crowe movie. I was like, yeah, I wanted to see that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you look at the movie that has the same idea behind it, Falling Down with Michael Douglas is a great movie.
Oh, way better.
Yeah, it's way better. It does sort of like work on the same sort of idea. Unhinged, when they got to the end of the movie, they just dropped the ball. It was working well, but then you get to the end of the movie and they just fucked it up. So,
spoilers, if you've not watched the movie and you're going to watch the movie and don't want to hear us rant, I'm going to suggest you leave for a minute, because this is all I got to say about that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They completely fucked up the end of that movie, from the point where she is in the car and rams him. Like, okay, you get to the place you're trying to get to. All you got to do is park your car, because he's looking for the car. He's looking for the car to see the
Well,
car.
he doesn't know where the car is, and
Yeah.
if you left your car out, then he can find it. But if you would have parked the car in the garage, he wouldn't have known.
Exactly. Oh, and before we go further, here you go. I got a message for you, Mr. Peabody. You'll enjoy this.
Yep.
Hope you feel better. See, the duck's not mad at you.
It's in a better place.
Parents didn't want it. But yeah, that was my first gripe. I'm like, wait a minute. So after all of this, because there was some other bullshit, but it was still all right. We get to the point that she gets to the hideaway place and doesn't just put the car in the garage and call the police. Okay. And then instead of waiting on him to get out of the car, she hits the car, giving herself a concussion for one. And then he magically gets out of the car that's rolled. And I'm thinking, no. He didn't have a seatbelt on. There's no way. No.
Well, the other thing is she puts her child in a safe room, right? They could have both gone in the safe room and could have been safe.
Well, they would have had to hide the car first and then gone in the safe room and then called the police and waited. Yeah, exactly. But no, what did she do? Gets behind the wheel of the car and then rams him and then flips the car, and then he magically appears and's fine and knocks the shit out of her and goes looking for the kid that makes a noise, and then they find him.
The whole time she had phone service.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, but yeah, I mean, I don't think anything we said before sort of like spoiled the movie, but I think we've spoiled it now.
Well, I gave him warnings. This is going to be spoilers, you know, and then at the end of the day, it's like, all right, he beats the shit out of her. There's 3 or 4 more concussions. And then, you know, granted the kid. Yeah. And the kid, but the scissors to the eye. First, she stabs him in the eye with the scissors. Then she drop kicks his ass. And I'm like, okay, this is just fucking stupid, but all right, whatever. Mommy got some power after being knocked the fuck out a couple different times. At this point, she's beyond Rocky, you know, from Rocky 1 and 2. It was like, all right, whatever, you know. And then I have to agree with you cold-heartedly. We get the police there and whatnot. Then she gets in the car and starts driving away. First off,
she drives away. She drives away in the evidence.
Yeah. First off, no, they're not going to let you drive anywhere because you've had 3, 4, 10 concussions by now, Rocky. So you're going to go to a hospital and they're going to have lots of questions. Then the car is going to be taken for evidence. No, she just hops in the car, drives away, and then they've got that stupid part at the end.
Yeah, you're going to be in police station for at least 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And they let her go, and she drives away in the fucking evidence.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said, A, they're going to send her to a hospital, and then they're going to be there for like forever. 2, the car's going to be in evidence anyway. But no, we have to have her pull away and have somebody pull out in front of her. So she goes to get ready to hit the horn, and then she doesn't. And then the kid says, "Good call, Ma." I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, no, she would have been in an ER getting scans, and that would be at least 12 hours there, along with the police asking her a bunch more. So that's, you know, a day and a half later before she's even going to get out, and she's still not going to get that car because it's evidence. So
yeah. I will tell you this much: it's still a shitload better than Tenet.
Yeah, I have no plans on seeing that movie. I couldn't even get through the trailer, and
Tenet is shit. It really is shit. And
no
people
agree with it. So
if you don't like Tenet, it's because you don't understand the movie. No, it's because the movie's shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way about Bill and Ted 3. It was just complete shit. It was a reboot of 2 movies, and they didn't do it right, and it just sucked. And it's just like, man. And I was excited for Bill and Ted 3. Tenet, I saw the thing, and I'm like, no, I couldn't even get through the trailer. I'm like, I don't want to see this. This is just the. And then, so what do we got coming up? Well, yeah, there's the Milan thing, which I didn't care about.
To be honest, as I said to Adam before, I mean, I don't like to say this out loud, but the fact is like, look, we've got a black guy in the movie. That's it.
Well, it just seemed like a remake of Inception with not making any sense. Time travel, and look, we got a bleak guy. He's bleak.
By the way, did you notice we've got a black guy in here?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and the black guy has no appeal to him at all. He's just there. He's not a character you want to follow. He's not a character you latch onto. He's no Denzel Washington. He's no is no black character that you actually.
Samuel Jackson.
He's no Daniel Jackson. He's nothing. He's just there, and the whole time he's got this fucking attitude. It's like, I'm here because I'm black. That doesn't work. If he's a character that makes sense, he would make sense, and you'd follow him. But he doesn't make sense. And Tenet is a shit movie. But as I said, I did thoroughly enjoy Mulan. I did. I don't care about the controversy that's going on about where it was filmed.
Oh yeah, that horse shit. Yep.
And I don't care about or it was filmed close to these. I don't care about the politics that go behind Mulan. But I've never seen the actual animated version of Mulan. But Mulan, the movie, I liked it. And the reason why I got such a good copy of it is because Disney made a big fucking mistake.
Well, here's the thing about that. So first off, if this becomes a win for Disney, then that's what everybody's going to start doing. You're no longer going to have the, you have to pay extra money on a streaming service in order to see stuff. The downside to that is, to me, that would be the end of film.
No, it's way too easy to rip off. And the fact is, they can pirate it, and they can give you a DVD quality pirating. It's not filmed with a camera; it's filmed straight from the stream. So the quality of the pirating is too good. So they can't do that again. They made a big mistake when they decided they're just going to stream it, because what are people going to do? They're going to pay for it, and then they're going to copy it, and then they're going to release it. Mm-hmm. And the copy that I watched was DVD quality.
Well, and like I said, to me, it didn't make any sense either.
Apparently.
Well, it doesn't matter. We've only got like a couple people watching, so we're good there. The thing is, that's where I could see movies going down, but with it flopping, I wouldn't pay to see it anyway, because in another 2 months it's going to be free on the Disney Plus that you pay for anyhow. So why would I give you $30? If you can go to Walmart and get a Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, blow it out your ass, whatever, for $20-$25, why am I going to give you $30 just to be able to watch it on your site? That's just stupid.
Where if I waited a bit of time, I can have it a physical copy. Mm-hmm. But no, yeah, no. I watched a lot of stuff through apparently nefarious sites. But the reason I do
ride the high seas is what you're trying to say.
I do ride the high seas, and the reason I do that is because of a health issue, which makes it difficult for me to go to a cinema. I used to like watching stuff that way, just because it would be a precursor. You could kind of watch it to see if it was worth spending the $10-15 at the theater. Because let's face it, 99.9% of the time, pre-Milan, you're getting a shitty copy of the movie, but you could kind of get an idea of, because when we hit this woke culture bullshit, you'd get an idea if it was going to be completely, like I said, when I first saw Rise of Soy Walker, I couldn't understand it because it was in I almost said Chinese. it was in Spanish. Yeah.
So I couldn't understand anything other than, like they said, Skywalker, and I heard taco, burrito, Yoda.
Man, you don't understand Spanish? Come on, man.
No, I don't speak jibber jabber.
Well, actually, I can actually understand certain points of different languages, but only in bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Not in full. I can understand little bits and pieces,
Yeah,
But,
well, I speak fuck.
I've
No,
had
okay, I take that back. I
had to-
understand from Cheech and Chong. Hey, Bendecos.
Yeah, no, but
yeah.
I've had to do that because, like, working in the nursing field, you're not just dealing with Australians, you're dealing with all different ethnicities. So I had to learn different bits and pieces of different languages. So am I fluent in any of them? No. But I do understand to a certain part. I'm actually pretty good at Norwegian.
Well, here's the thing though. Like when I first watched the movie, it was a shitty cam copy. So it's like, all right, it's going to look better in the theater. It's Star Wars. Then, I didn't understand any of it because it was literally in Spanish. So I had no idea what it was. So as I'm watching the movie, I've got in my brain, it's saying different things than what was said. So like it was a pretty good movie when you don't understand what they're saying. And I'm like, all right, it'll be worth going to see. I'm like, there was some stuff that I didn't catch the first time. And then I went and saw the movie and it was definitely different than what I had thought in my brain. But when I first watched it, I enjoyed it. When I watched it the second time, I was kind of like, all right, whatever. And then when I saw it the third time was the best because that was with Chef Carolyn and we just ripped on the movie the whole time. The second time was kind of like a first time again because, like I said, it was in English, so I could understand it.
No, it's like what I was tell you before, because being like, that I like Elise. She's a French singer, and she's singing in French. And I actually come up against. I found English versions of her songs, and it's funny as fuck because they don't translate it correctly. What they've done is they've actually manipulated the words so that they rhyme. But it's like in French they rhyme. In English they don't rhyme at all. But what they actually did was that they manipulated the words so they did rhyme, and they sound funny as fuck. I do have a couple of versions of songs. I mean, I know you don't want to watch them, but I have them if you want to watch them.
No.
But, yeah,
Okay,
I know.
After that, you're watching wrestling with me.
That's why I give you the option. It's like, no, it's like, I know you don't want to watch them, but they're funny as fuck. When you look at, she's singing in French, and they have this English translation, and the English translation is wrong. So it's funny to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be like me saying, okay, well, we're doing a wrestling pay-per-view stream with Brian the Observer next weekend. You should come.
No. I'll put my hand up for that one.
Or tomorrow with Chef Carolyn, we're going to watch the Colts game. You should come.
It's all right. It's like, there, because I actually saw that because I saw you went and you're watching football, and it's like, no, that's not for me. But no. That's why I said it's like, I know you don't want to watch it, but it's funny as fuck if you actually watched the translation that they put to the words. I think I've got a drunk duck.
You could.
Let me check. I'm going to check the duck.
Drunk duck. Well, it had to get drunk. You murdered its baby. You took my egg, and then you turned it into a fried egg, and you ate my baby. So he's a drunk duck.
Oh, it's not my fault. You dropped the egg where you dropped a loose turd. It's like, I'll just leave it here.
Hells to the yeah.
But yeah, the people, if you're wondering, ducks actually don't shit in the water. They wait until they get out of the water and they shit right on the edge of the water. And it's the same thing that that's definitely the duck. That's definitely the duck.
Peabody's pool is being assaulted by a drunk duck.
We got both of them. Both
Yep.
of them. I better go give them some food. I'll be right back.
He wants to feed the duckies because he's got nothing else to do. He doesn't want to go outside and get beat up by the ducks because you'll have that. Some pissed off ducks. We do not want pissed off ducks. But here is a little bit of something that we want. We're going to play from a real good friend of mine while Mr. Peabody is out. Share the link.
Again, breaking into a dentist office, the PD have declared it a riot, and I declare that is a nice takedown. It smashed their cranium right into the freaking asphalt, sends them into the depths of hell. And ironically enough, this is next to Mayor Ted Wheeler's apartment. Too bad they didn't break into his house and treat it like a park. Maybe they could stay at his house and piss all over the floor because there's piss all over the ground from this guy getting shoved because his dad never disciplined him growing up. All these daddy issues going on. Let's take a quick look at the ludicrous cam. Right here, you can see guys are just moving in, closing the distance, and bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out.
We need the replay. I fed the duck.
You fed the ducks.
Apparently, Chaz's mom forgot to dress.
Yeah, they're both show up today.
Either that, he's making a fashion statement, or he just shit his pants once again.
So,
Too many hot
so
pockets.
Daddy showed up and said, "Where's my baby?"
Man, now the old man's about to show him a trick or two.
I broke your baby.
Shot that makes his knees buckle like a newborn deer. What an idiot! Let's take a quick look at the replay. You can see Chaz thinking he's Billy Badass once again. He gets clocked right on the jaw. Right here, we'll take a close-up look. You can see his neck snaps back like a freaking human Pez dispenser. Nice clean shot.
Human Pez dispenser.
Human Pez dispenser. Oh!
Mm-hmm.
The fact is, if I had to call that, just watching it, I would have said the guy in the grey is going to be no problem. As in he's going to take down the other guy.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. That's funny.
We need some more. You got some more?
Well, I just threw that on there because you were gone, and I'm like, shit, and then I forgot to click the stupid little button. So it was just coming through my mic. I was like, oh, well, that'll work for a minute. The hell with it. I was like,
Well, we can always show the Easter Bunny again.
Oh, it was just the whole point of it. I was like, all right, well, because I did the one. All right, let's see. Where is... Oh, shit. It sounds like it's raining. All right. No problem.
That guy's commentation is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I fed the ducks. They're all happy. And, but yeah, I don't think they're going to give me another egg. No.
Well, they're the ones that abandoned it in the first place, so that's okay. That's okay. Maybe they'll take care of the babies from here on out. They're like, nope, we're not leaving it with him. Nope, we know better.
And this time we're going to put it in a nest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We can't trust him with it.
Okay, this is something different, but it's pretty funny. All right, let's see. And yep, that's good. And I got the sound, and the sound is up, and we'll go full screen. And
all right, this is a story about when I was 11 years old, and my brain decided to go all screwy and have itself a seizure. And seizures aren't very fun. I wouldn't really recommend having any, especially if you're 11. All right, so my friend Steven is over my house, and he brought his dumbass little brother Matt along with him. And we're in my room. Steven's playing his Game Boy, and Matt and I are playing some Pokemon cards. We're having a good old time. Now, normally, I would whoop Matt's ass at Pokemon cards 6 ways to Sunday, but on this day, the unimaginable was happening. I'm sitting there on the ropes. I got my shitty-ass little Weedle card. He's over there. He's got a Blastoise on steroids. Thing's got, like, Mark McGuire arms and shit. Let's hit some dingers. Jesus Christ. I'm about to lose to Steven's little brother. What kind of piece of shit loses to Steven's little brother? So I pick up a card. I'm hoping for a miracle at this point, and lo and behold, a miracle does happen. Everything goes black. I fall over like a sack of potatoes, and I start foaming at the mouth like a wild animal. I'm having what some people would call a seizure. And I didn't even get to have one of the fun seizures. You know, where you're flopping around like a fish. No, I just laid there, half dead, eyes wide open. What a ripoff. Now, Steven and Matt, they see this whole thing, and they think Oh, come on. I was just about to win. Stop laying there being an asshole. Who the hell knows how long I laid there before my dad finally walked in? Hey, what kind of shit do you guys want on your hot dogs? Whoa, what the hell happened to him? Ooh, I want ketchup. Oh, yeah, we think your son's dead. Now, I don't remember any of this because my brain doesn't work anymore, apparently. The next thing that I did remember was waking up on the couch with everybody staring at me. What the hell? Why is everybody staring at me? What is this, some kind of shitty surprise birthday party? The paramedics bust through the door. They carry me to the ambulance. I'm still completely oblivious to what's going on. You know I can walk, right? I have legs that work. Yeah, but you don't have a fucking brain that works, apparently. We're at the hospital trying to figure out why my brain suddenly turned into a bowl of mashed potatoes. My mom's absolutely positive that the reason I had a seizure was because all those nights I stayed up playing Nintendo 64. It was that goddamn Poketron Stadium. I know it. But me personally, I know exactly what happened. The thought of me losing to Steven's stupid-ass little brother was so abstract to my brain that it tried to explode itself. That's the only logical reason. So at this point, I have to have an MRI done. And if you've never had an MRI done before, then you don't know what hell on earth is. It's where they slide you into this big tube so they can take pictures of your broken-ass brain. Now, I'm not a claustrophobic person. Or maybe I should say I wasn't a claustrophobic person before the MRI. There's something about being strapped down and put into a giant tube that kind of makes you feel uneasy. I'm never getting out of this thing. I'm going to die and stay here forever. So I'm a little apprehensive. The nurse comes over and she's like, "It's okay to be nervous. We're going to put some music through these earbuds to help ease your mind. What kind of music do you like? You guys got any Limp Bizkit? Let me check."
They didn't offer me any music when I went in there. I've been in
a tube of hell, and they're like, "Okay, this machine's a little noisy. Just try to focus on your music." Oh, yeah, a little noisy. That's a bit of an understatement, don't you think? So much for the goddamn muffin, man. I can't hear anything. So there I am, completely stuck in a tube, listening to R2-D2 have loud sex with a garbage disposal. Every now and then, the machine would stop. Goddamn muffin man would chime back into my ears. So this goes on for 45 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I never knew this circle of hell existed. Lucky me. When I finally get out of that thing, I'm like, hey, thanks a bunch, guys, but I think I'd rather have the seizures than do that shit again. So at this point, we had to wait for the doctor to look at the results. And I'm not saying my doctor is stupid, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't all the way there. What the hell is this big blobby thing? That's the brain, doctor. Oh, yeah, all right. Well, that's good, right? I don't know. So there I am, waiting to be diagnosed, hoping I get some answers finally. Oh man, I hope it's not brain AIDS. I bet I got AIDS in the brain, Mom. I should have never listened to that Nickelback CD. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is your son has a brain in his head. And the bad news is, what was your question again? Why did he have a seizure? Oh yeah, that's right. We don't really know. So now I have to get an EEG test. And an EEG test is when they glue a bunch of electrodes to your head and they sit you in front of a strobe light. I remember thinking a strobe light, oh my God, they're trying to make me have a seizure now. What a bunch of assholes. Okay, just sit back and relax. We're just gonna shine a few lights in your eyeballs. How you feeling? You feeling a little seizure-y? No, but I'm feeling like my goddamn brain's gonna explode. Oh man, I thought you'd be flopping all over the floor by now. Well, I guess we could hit you in the head with this frying pan and see what happens. So after all this hellacious testing, my doctor concludes that he doesn't really know why I had a seizure. Sometimes your brain's just stupid, I guess. I don't know. What do I look like, a doctor? So I never figured out why, and I never had a seizure since then. But there's one good thing that came from this whole shitty mess, and that was from then on, I could always fake a seizure and get out of losing any game. Aha! Checkmate! I win! Oh, god damn it, not again!
Brewstew.com.
you gotta watch out for that frying pan.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the shit that these guys come up with.
No, but I've had
having a little sister.
I've had the test many times, and never have they offered to let me listen to music.
Oh, the last time I was going to do one, I told them they just put me the fuck under. I was like, nope, you can put me to sleep. I'm not. No. Knock me the fuck out. I'm not going through this shit. So yeah, no.
Now, I didn't have a little sister, but my friend Michael did, and her name was Tabitha. Now, Tabitha was a very gullible child. Anything that Michael wanted her to do,
it's actually much better than it used to be, though, because they used to give you an injection which had barium in it, and you could feel that stuff running through your veins. in order to test things. But now with the electronical stuff, they don't do that. So it's much better than it used to be.
A question. Hey, Tabitha, I dare you to do a handstand in the middle of the street. Okay.
Okay.
Walk outside. God damn it, RD. The hell are you doing gymnastics in the street for? Why does your stepdad call your sister RD? RD's short for real daughter because that's his real daughter. She's not a stepkid like me. What are you looking at, FS? Huh? Get your ass over here and take out the trash. FS stands for fake son. That's me. Yeah, I got it, Michael. Thanks. That's pretty fucked up. So on one particular day, Michael invites me over to his house because he has something cool to show me. Check this out. I taught Tabitha how to swear. Isn't that cool? No, Michael, that's not cool. She's like 4 years old. I know, it's hilarious. Watch this. Tabitha, say some bad words. Dolphin dick. Oh my God, she said dolphin dick. This is hilarious. Michael, what the hell is the matter with you? And furthermore, what the hell is a dolphin dick? 10 minutes later, Tabitha's running around the house. Dolphin dick, dolphin dick. Oh, what the hell? RD, why do you keep saying that? Fake son, get your ass over here. Did you teach Tabitha this dolphin dick? No, I don't even know what that is. Where the hell did she hear it from? I don't know. We go to Kmart a lot. Maybe she heard it there. God damn it, FS, you're getting 10 across the ass. But it didn't matter how many times Michael got in trouble because he was constantly a bad influence on his little sister. We'd be hanging out in his front yard. All right, Tabitha, stand by the road and throw rocks at any cars that go by. We're gonna go hide behind that tree over there. You got it? Okie dokie.
What the fuck? Did that baby just throw a rock at my Honda? If you weren't 4 years old, I'd kick your Oshkosh Bagosh wearing ass.
Michael's over there about to piss himself silly. All of a sudden, here comes a guy down the street riding a bike, just minding his own business. Hey, what the hell? Why are you throwing rocks at me? I got no beef with you. Dolphin dick. Dolphin dick? Don't you dare call me a dolphin dick. Hey, what's going on out there? She's hucking rocks at my mongoose and saying my dick looks like a dolphin. Hey, that's my real daughter you're talking to, God damn it. All right, that part didn't really happen. But she did hit a dude's bike with a rock, and me and Michael had to run out there and defuse the situation. She's got Tourette's. Don't mind her. I'm sure your dick doesn't resemble a dolphin anyway. You're goddamn right it doesn't. You need to keep that kid on a leash. I didn't even know dolphins had dicks. And if throwing rocks at people wasn't enough, we'd also play a game called Hostage Police Chase. How you play Hostage Police Chase is you tie a wagon to a bike with a jump rope, and you take another bike and try to ram that thing off the road. Well, you can't play Hostage Police Chase without a hostage, so we'd put Tabitha in the wagon. Boom, problem solved. Okay, Tabitha, you're the hostage. So you gotta sit in the wagon and do what he says, or else he's gonna cut your head off. Got it? Wait a minute, what? Well, there I am, towing this 4-year-old around with my big-ass mountain bike. Michael slamming into the wagon full force with his shitty little 1920s bike. Random people on the street watching from a distance. Look at those kids trying to murder that 4-year-old in a wagon. Kids will be kids. It's only a matter of time before Tabitha flies out of the wagon, smacks into the pavement. She just sits up and giggles. Let's do it again. Dolphin dick, dolphin dick. Did she just say dolphin dick? What the hell's a dolphin dick? Oh, that's when your pee hole's on top of your wiener. You know, like a dolphin's blowhole. Oh, I see. I think my dad's got dolphin dick. Is that so?
Brewstew.com.
See, you just never know what you can find on the fake book. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not.
Well, the funny thing is, like, dolphin dicks is actually a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're mammals. They have dicks.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, it's all done for fun. That's the whole thing. It's just like,
the funny thing is, like, there's actually footage that dolphins, male dolphins, trying to hump female humans.
well, we don't know. We don't want to know about the crazy porn you watch there in Australia.
No, it's not crazy porn. It's you know, like when they show footage of people going swimming with dolphins.
Nope.
Well, they go swimming with dolphins, and sometimes the dolphins get a bit excited and decide to try to hump the girls.
All right, we all had that friend growing up that had all the cool toys that you never had. You get all jealous, like, oh, cool, look, he's got a Nintendo 64, and I'm over here with 3 Lincoln Logs. Cool. And that kid to me was my friend David.
You're over
he
there
had
with
pretty
Free
much
Willy.
everything he wanted as a kid. For example, David had a bunk bed in his room, but David was an only child. So what the hell does he need a bunk bed for? I didn't know all your stuffed animals needed a place to sleep. God forbid. He had all the cool stuff. He could top whatever you had by far. You finally got that sweet holographic Charizard Pokemon card? Well, guess what? He's got 3 of them, and they're all autographed by a Real live Charizard. Suck on that. The dude had 3 Razor mini scooters. 3 of them. What do you need 3 scooters for, David? You have 2 legs on your body. You're not a goddamn millipede. You don't need multiple scooters to ride around on. But out of everything David had, the trampoline in his backyard was the best. The day he got it, all the kids in the neighborhood just marveled at it. We can bounce up to the moon on this damn thing. And boy, did we. We jumped on that thing and jumped and jumped and jumped our little asses off. We did that for like a whole 15 minutes. All right, that was fun. Now what do? How about we try to hurt each other? Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's play a game called Drop Kick. How do you play Drop Kick? Oh, here, I'll show you. That was the name of our favorite game to play on the trampoline. Drop Kick. Not the most clever name, but I got the point across. And I'm going to teach you guys how to play Drop Kick, all right? Rule number 1. Be a dumbass 9-year-old kid. Okay, check. We got that. We all qualify. Rule number 2. Try to injure your friends as much as possible, only using your feet. Kick them in the teeth, kick them in the belly, knock the air out of them. Oh, God, I think I'm going to throw up. Do anything you can to try to hurt your best friend. You made somebody bleed? Cool, that's 1 point. You knocked a tooth out? Hey, that's 2 points. All right. Oh, look at that. They're comatose on the ground. Well, guess what? You're the champion now. You'd have kids wearing steel-toe boots. I got my baseball cleats on, ready to ruin somebody's life. Michael would be over there in his bare feet so he could move faster. That's what he always said. I have to be agile. Yeah, Michael, because God forbid your knockoff Jordans are really going to slow you down. Michael, put your goddamn shoes on, for Christ's sake. You're freaking everybody out. Jesus Christ. Well, at least cut your damn toenails once in a while with your nasty Wolverine feet. God, you're disgusting. Rule number 3. Don't touch the ground. Now, chances were that at some point somebody would kick you off the trampoline. But if you touch that ground, you are out. You're done playing drop kick for that round. Michael, you're on the ground. You're out. No, I'm not. I'm in. I can still play. Michael, your leg is broken in half, dude. Get this one out. You lost. Sometimes you get kicked and you get lucky and be able to grab onto the chain link fence. Your back would slide down it like a cheese grater. You fall back on the trampoline. Your back's bleeding like a gunshot wound. I'm still in. I'm in, okay? Careful where you step. It's slippery. There's blood all over the place. Then you'd have kids like my buddy's little brother, Matt, who was like a whole 48 pounds at the time. His ass was so light, if he jumped up too high, a stiff breeze could carry him right over the fence. He had the hardest time playing drop kick because there wasn't any weight classes when we played. So little Matt there, he'd have to face off against somebody like Corey, who had the physique of a middle-aged garbage man. He's got like a hot dog in one hand. Yeah, let's get it on. Corey couldn't even jump in the air. There's no way he's getting his big ass airborne. So he'd just fall on his butt, launch Matt into the stratosphere. It's a technical knockout. Matt is disqualified. He didn't touch the ground. Yeah, well, you're not supposed to be in outer space either. He's disqualified. He's done. Rule number 4. This is the final rule of drop kick. Don't get hit by the big rock. Now, you might be asking yourself, big rock? What big rock? Well, as if a bunch of 9-year-olds throwing their bodies around like a circus act wasn't dangerous enough, you'd put a big 16-pound garden rock on the trampoline. There you go. Now you gotta dodge this big-ass bowling ball rock while people are trying to kick you in the forehead. That sounds fun. This thing's flying through the air, landing on people's toes. You'd be looking the wrong way. Big-ass rock comes out of nowhere, breaks your pelvis. Little Matt's face is totally filled with terror. He knows if he gets hit with that damn rock, he's gonna explode on impact. That's what he's gonna do. He'd have David's mom come outside and check on us. Hey, any of you guys want some lemonade? No? Nobody? Oh, you boys and your silly games. You'd have other kids from the neighborhood staring at us from a distance. Oh my God, what are they doing? Hey, you guys want to play drop kick? What's it called? Drop kick, garden rock, trampoline game? No. We'll play hide and seek or something instead. Are you sure? It's really, really fun. There's a dead kid over here. Yeah, we know. He's disqualified. Hey, you guys got any Band-Aids or some morphine?
Brucio.com.
To the crane, and Kyle with a couple sucker punches there. Becky ain't phased. Becky with a nice gut kick that drops Kyle to the ground. Now some ground and pound action being delivered. He is being punished for his efforts at the sucker punch, and now taking major shots to the cranium. I don't know how much longer he can take. Where's the ref? Forget the ref. This kid deserves it. Whatever. That's what you get for sucker punching people. I'm sure his parents must be proud and have tons of participation trophies over the mantle. But Becky's not about participation trophies. No, sir. She's all about earning her way to the top as she continues to pummel through this kid. Kyle, who sucker punched her, and now giving the beatdown of a lifetime. I think this kid has learned a serious lesson. I know his parents are trying to come in and stop this, but hey, how about you stop your kid from sucker punching Becky in the first place? Great job, kid. You got a future in MMA.
Yo, wonder no more. If you follow these about to kick my ass, you'll wonder no more. If you follow these easy tips, you'll be fine. First, obey the law. Laws were made for a reason. Think of them as hints. You heard people say, man, I wouldn't do that shit if I was you. Well, here's some of that shit. Carjacking, armed robbery, arson, selling drugs, buying drugs, stabbing, shooting. You know, you probably won't get your ass kicked if you just use common sense. If you jump a subway turnstile, you might just get off with a warning from the police. But if you jump a turnstile carrying a loaded gun and smoking a joint, then maybe you need your ass kicked. We all know what happened to Rodney King. But Rodney wouldn't have gotten his ass kicked if he had just followed this simple tip. When you see flashing police lights in your mirror, stop immediately. Everybody knows, if the police have to come and get you, they're bringing an ass kicking with them. Here's a no-brainer.